The emergency room was loud, the sharp ring of a pager, a nurse's hurried footsteps, and then a strangled breath. Someone's heart was racing out of control, not from exercise, not from excitement, from pure, crushing anxiety. "Calm down," the doctor said, but the words felt hollow. Because anxiety is not just in your head, it's in your body. It can twist your chest, steal your breath, and if you ignore it long enough, it can drag you down into something far worse. Heart attacks, strokes, silent killers that creep in when nerves go unchecked. Did you know? Over 40 million adults suffer from anxiety in the US alone. And it's not just young folks glued to their phones. No, anxiety doesn't care about your age. It sneaks in quietly, especially after 55 when life throws curveballs. Retirement, health scares, loneliness. Pause. Picture this. You wake up one morning feeling like you're underwater, heart pounding, a storm of worry crashing inside your mind, but there's no obvious cause, no bad news, no crisis, just fear, an invisible weight crushing your spirit. Now, here's the twist. What if I told you relief could start on your plate? Yes, your kitchen, your grocery bag, simple foods that act like calm in a cup of chaos. Not pills, not fancy supplements, just everyday eats that soothe your nerves like a gentle whisper. Imagine foods as tiny warriors, battling the tension, knotting your shoulders, untangling your restless mind. This isn't some new age fad, it's real, backed by science. But more than that, it's practical, easy, and life-changing. Anxiety has a secret enemy, and it's sitting on your dining table right now. Stop for a second. Breathe in. Feel that tightness in your chest. That's your body begging for calm. And this story, your story, is about learning to listen. Because anxiety is loud, but hope is louder. Ready? Because what I'm about to share can change the way you think about food, nerves, and peace. And it starts with the simplest choice you can make today. Meet Helen, 62 years old, silver hair she never dyes, warm smile, but lately, that smile had begun to fade. A few years back, Helen was full of life, morning walks, gardening, Sunday coffee with friends, but then the worry crept in. Little things at first, the silence of the house after her husband passed, the doctor's visit that wasn't just a checkup, it was a warning. "Your blood pressure is high," the nurse said. "Stress is a factor." Helen brushed it off. "I'm fine," she told herself. But inside, something was unraveling. Nights grew restless. Thoughts raced like wildfire. She found herself clutching the kitchen counter, heart pounding, breath shallow. "What's happening to me?" she whispered one night, tears stinging her eyes. Her doctor called it anxiety, but to Helen it felt like a betrayal. She was strong, had survived so much. Why this? Why now? One morning she woke up and simply couldn't get out of bed. "I just stood there," she said later, "and everything went dark. It was like my body forgot how to move." That was her breaking point, but also her beginning. Helen decided she wouldn't let anxiety win. She started small, one step at a time. No magic pills, no expensive therapy she couldn't afford, just simple changes, beginning with her food. She read about calming foods, foods that could quiet the chaos inside her, foods that worked quietly, patiently, like a friend who listens without judgment. She tried her first cup of chamomile tea. The warmth on her lips was a small comfort, but the calm it brought was a surprise. Then she added berries to her breakfast, antioxidants that whispered peace to her brain. Slowly, Helen noticed the difference. Less heart racing, fewer nights tossing and turning, a lightness returning to her step. It wasn't instant, it wasn't perfect. But Helen found her way back to herself, through the foods she ate. This story isn't unique. It could be yours. Helen's fight is the fight many face, especially after 55. Anxiety doesn't have to be the end of your story. There is a path, and it often starts on your plate. So what exactly makes these foods so special? Let's uncover the science. But don't worry, it won't feel like school. Imagine something else instead. Imagine your brain as a bustling city. Streets full of cars. That's your neurons sending messages. Now, anxiety. It's like a traffic jam during rush hour. Horns blaring, engines revving, chaos everywhere. Your brain floods with stress chemicals, like adrenaline and cortisol, making everything speed up, jittery, out of control. Now, picture a gentle rain washing through that city. That's what certain foods do. They bring balance, clear the mess, slow the frantic pace down. How? Through something called neurotransmitters, tiny messengers like serotonin and GABA. They are your brain's natural chill pills. When these messengers are low, anxiety gets louder. When they rise, calm takes over. But here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't make these neurotransmitters out of thin air. It needs building blocks, nutrients from your food. Think of vitamins and minerals as the raw materials, the bricks and mortar, to keep your calm city standing strong. Take magnesium, for example. It's like a master locksmith for your brain's doors, helping to keep those stress signals from flooding in too hard. Without enough magnesium, those doors slam open, letting anxiety pour through. Or omega-3 fatty acids. Those are like the oil for the city's engine. They keep everything running smoothly, reduce inflammation, and protect your brain cells from damage that stress can cause. And then there's tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like turkey and nuts. It's the starting point your brain uses to make serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter. Low serotonin? That's anxiety's playground. You see, anxiety isn't just a feeling. It's a biochemical storm. But your diet, it's the umbrella. It shields you so the storm doesn't drench you completely. Here's a little secret. Most processed foods, heavy on sugar and empty carbs, are like gasoline thrown on that fire. They spike your blood sugar, crank up inflammation, and crank up anxiety even more. But fresh, whole foods, they are the firefighters. They calm the flames, restore balance, and give your brain the tools it needs to settle down. So next time you sit down to eat, imagine you're feeding not just your body, but your mind's peacekeepers. The right food choices aren't just about nutrition. They're about restoring harmony inside you. Ready to meet these calming heroes on your plate? Let's dive into simple, powerful habits that anyone can start today. First, let me tell you about Sarah. She was a busy grandmother, always on the go, juggling errands and family calls. But anxiety hit her hard every afternoon, like clockwork. Her secret weapon? Nuts. Just a small handful of walnuts each day. Why nuts? Because they're packed with magnesium and healthy fats that whisper calm to your nervous system. Sarah said, "It's like a little hug for my brain." She swapped chips for walnuts and felt the afternoon jitters fade away. The danger? Reaching for sugary snacks that spike your energy, then crash it, leaving your nerves rattled like a roller coaster. But Sarah chose steady fuel. That steady fuel changed her day, her mood, her life. Second story. Meet Robert. Retired, living alone, often feeling restless at night. He tried chamomile tea, something his mother used to swear by. 1 cup before bed, and Robert's racing mind slowed down, like the tide pulling back after a storm. Chamomile contains compounds that boost GABA, the brain's natural tranquilizer. Robert said, "I sleep better. I wake up lighter." But here's what you have to watch. Don't add sugar. Sugar tricks your brain, spikes anxiety instead of calming it. And third, meet Linda, a lively woman who loves berries, blueberries, strawberries, whatever's fresh. She tosses them into her morning oatmeal. Those berries aren't just tasty, they're loaded with antioxidants that fight inflammation, which often worsens anxiety. Linda noticed that after weeks of adding berries, the fog in her head lifted. She felt sharper, calmer, more present. The danger here. Ignoring inflammation, which silently fans the flames of anxiety. The solution? Nature's candy. Fresh, colorful, powerful. These stories share a simple truth. Calming anxiety can start with what you choose to eat. Small habits, little changes, but powerful when done right. Look, I know anxiety can feel like an uninvited guest who never leaves. It creeps in, steals your peace, turns your nights restless, and your days heavy. But here's the truth: nobody tells you loud enough. You're not powerless. Every bite you take is a choice, a tiny act of rebellion against the noise inside your mind. You don't need to chase magic cures or complicated routines. You just need to start simple. Real food, real calm. Imagine waking up and feeling a little lighter, your heart not racing for no reason, the tightness in your chest easing just a bit, day by day. That's not a dream, that's possible. Helen did it. Sarah did it. Robert and Linda did it. And so can you. This is your life, full of stories, laughter, moments waiting to be lived fully, without anxiety holding you back. So when you feel that familiar knot, remember, you hold the power. In your hands, in your choices, in your kitchen. It's not just about fighting anxiety. It's about reclaiming joy. You're stronger than you think. You're capable of calm. And it all starts with one simple step. Take it today. Your mind, your heart, your life, they're ready for it.